The broadcast
Can't
is
hear
live.
We can't hear him though.
One,
No.
2.
There,
And
that's better.
now we hear you.
I got to change out this XLR cable. Okay.
Got some glare on him.
Yeah, no, he's got his Clark Kent's on.
Yeah, I'm all glary, right?
That's the name of a guitar manufacturer, Glary.
I hate this camera. I hate everything. Guess where my wife is, Dave?
Chicago?
Yep. She went to the office for the first time, and she was there today for the first time ever. And she was have all these meetings tomorrow, and they closed the office down again because of COVID. They said the masks are coming back. Yeah. Is that not the case?
They haven't announced anything I'm aware of yet.
What, Chicago?
They just shut down her office again, out of the blue because of it.
Well, it's something they decided to do. It's not a mandatory thing. Tim Robertson is in Chicago right now.
Yeah, no, they said, literally happened 3 hours ago, so I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, I know they just made masks mandatory in our office, whether you have vaccination or not.
They're probably going to be doing it to mine soon.
Yeah, I think me too. I have to get tested again every 2 weeks, even though I'm vaccinated.
Yeah, doesn't matter anymore.
That's not good either. But I do have the house to myself tonight, so that's good.
So now she can't go in the office. She's probably just head back home, right?
She tried to get a flight back, and everything was like super expensive to change. So she's gonna hang out the hotel, work at the hotel. She's gonna see if anybody wants to meet her at lunch. Who was supposed to come, but that's a little harder because some people don't live in the city and they have to drive to Chicago to get there. Blah blah blah.
Well, is she actually in downtown Chicago?
Downtown.
Yeah, she's somewhere in there, somewhere in a Chicago hotel.
She's right.
Don't know which one.
Right downtown.
It's a Chicago hotel.
It's Chicago. Chicago. All right. Why can't I?
All right, you guys ready to do this thing?
Yeah.
It's after 8. We got to get started.
Let's go. Can you hear me all right? Sound all right?
Yes.
Is anyone here able to hear us over on the Facebooks? Yeah. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. Are we broadcasting?
Maybe.
Yeah. I hear you.
Okay, I see the video.
I hear somebody talking.
Stop. Well, I don't want it to play because it's going to echo back. Since you guys are coming across on Chrome.
I'm on Chrome, yes.
Yeah, well, you have to be.
I'm on Edge.
Well, yeah, I guess Edge can do it too, but it doesn't work with Safari for reasons.
Doesn't work with Firefox either.
Really?
Okay.
That's not good. Okay.
Bless you.
Tonight on the Mac to the Future livecast, go. Here's a crazy, crazy idea. Elon Musk as CEO of Apple. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Well, except that he's siding with Epic in that company and Apple's legal battles. Also, mankind drove on the moon. Oh, I'm so confused. Mankind drove on the moon 50 years ago, and there's not one McDonald's drive-thru in sight. All of that and more tonight on the Mac to the Future livecast. Go. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Mac to the Future livecast go. I know it's been a couple weeks since we've been on, but and of course this is now the new night. I wish I had confetti and balloons, but I just don't. It's so sad, isn't it? Sad, David.
Yes, it is. And then you got a new setup, a new background, but it's good to be back.
Well,
And
here's the thing: it's not a new background.
well,
It's just the background that nobody else got to see for years and years.
a new view.
Yeah, it is a new view. Are you enjoying the new view there, Warren?
Oh,
His view.
you hear this?
Musical interlude.
It was your theme song.
That's the StreamYard intro.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean from the countdown?
Yeah. I picked it up as I was bored listening to the countdown. So
Nice, very nice.
I'm good.
Okay, and there's I've got some different backgrounds here, except it doesn't work with three people.
Well,
It's
That
sad.
works.
that's awesome.
Yeah, well, because there's like cutouts for cameras and stuff, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. We do have some stuff to talk about, guys. It's not just Guy's rampant, crazy crap that comes out of his mouth every week.
I already listened to that one.
Yeah, that was a good show.
You and Carl. Like,
Yeah.
What's going on here? I don't even know.
Yeah,
what's happening.
it got well. The crazy thing about that was because I've been recording video and trying to put that out every week, but I hadn't had Carl on since like the last time, or from when I started doing video. So he wasn't expecting there to be video, so he didn't have any video. So it was like, oh no, it's fine. I don't mind that you don't have video.
I don't particularly mind either, but yeah.
Well, it's a live cast, so you got to go with something.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Let's go with that.
Now, there was some reports, and they've both denied. Both Elon Musk and Tim Cook have denied that this is true, but it's just such a good story that we can't let it pass. Reportedly, Elon Musk and Tim Cook were in some talks when Tesla was in some dire financial straits back in 2016. And I guess he was looking for some investments, and Tim Cook was like, easy peasy, we'll just go ahead and buy Tesla. And Musk apparently responded, yeah, that's great, but only if I get to be Apple's CEO. And thus far, Tim Cook remains CEO of Apple. And the really weird and the extremely funny part about it is what Tim Cook reportedly said when Elon Musk suggested that he become the new CEO of Apple. And it was a word that is not typically mentioned in polite company.
It never happened. It never happened.
I know it never happened, but it's just whoever it was that put this out was like such a great story.
Somebody just
there's a credible source of news right there.
They dreamt it, and he whatever. But the only thing I heard is he once tried to get a meeting with Tim Cook and he never heard back. And I think that's what it was, and that I could believe.
Surprise.
But the other, I don't think being CEO of a company that was like 2% of its worth now, he would have the gall to say anything like that, because he wasn't in any. He was looking to be money, get money. He was looking
for money.
For money, so he's not gonna. Why would he say that? Like, why would he? There's no.
Well, it was kind of like what made him, even if this was true, and we're pretty sure it isn't.
Right.
What made him believe that he had the leverage when he's basically standing there with his hat in his hand, trying to get Apple and others too.
That's why it's 100% not true. I mean, there's no reason he would have done that.
But it's so funny.
If it was like, Tesla doing that to like, Ford or something, something, they're pretty big now. So that's a little different. Maybe he would do something like that, but
is Ford now small enough that Tesla could buy them?
I don't know. Maybe, probably. I would look it up.
You can start by selling the stadium in Detroit,
Yeah, I don't
Ford
know.
Field.
I mean, he
Make
is
it Tesla Field. It runs on batteries.
He is. You hear about him being the richest man. You don't hear about. Um.
Who, Elon Musk being the richest man in the world?
Yeah.
Is that something that they're saying now?
Oh, they have been saying that, haven't they?
I hadn't heard anything about that. I know he's up there.
He's in top 5 or something. Who's
I can tell one person who won't be in the top 5 anymore is Bill Gates.
Yeah, but he doesn't care.
Well, he's losing some of his money to his wife, but so did Jeff Bezos. Right. So
yeah, and again, when you're talking about that kind of money, losing half of $1 billion, you're just kind of like, okay,
or $132 billion. All
right, well, 100. It doesn't matter because it's so much money that it's not like you're going to suddenly have to start buying ramen.
No,
because you're almost out of cash.
He's not.
None of those guys will ever starve.
They'll never even know that it happened.
But they will be the first ones up against the wall when the revolution comes. That's what I've heard anyway.
Viva la
All right. Well, there's we have a little more musky news.
Musky.
At an earnings call, at an earnings call for Tesla, and the so far not a billionaire in space CEO criticized Apple. Somebody has monitors or something. I'm hearing some echo.
Not me.
Check.
Water bottle?
Yeah, that must be it. It sounds just like human speech. Well, at a earnings call for Tesla, the so far not a billionaire in space CEO criticized Apple for using cobalt, which is a mined element used in practically everything related to electronics, including Tesla's stuff, but linked to controversial mining practices. And he's also backed Epic Games in their battle to force Apple to let them use Apple's store to make a lot more money with none of it going to Apple in the process. And he went on to say it was a default global tax on the internet and that Ted Sweeney the CEO of Epic, had never asked to be a rich guy going into space yet. When you consider Elon's fortunes as far as running companies has just kind of been all over the place. I really don't get where he would have a learned opinion on. I mean, he's certainly welcome to say whatever he wants, but at an earnings call to just kind of start talking about that has nothing to do with Tesla or anything else or SpaceX or what have you. I don't get it. Why would he even bring it up? Why would it even come up?
The guy has 100,000 things on his mind. He never thinks clearly. I mean,
yeah,
and ganja. He's known to partake in the ganja every once in a while.
That would do it. I mean, you gotta hope he doesn't do it during earning calls, but
yeah. That would be bad. That would be bad.
It would be bad, but it could happen.
We made a whole lot of money, man. So much money. Screw Apple. Oh.
He's colorful.
Be a fly on the wall.
You can't, if you're into technology, you really can't hate him, though. I mean, he's done.
No, I don't hate him. Yeah. I mean, when you consider that single-handedly he has, SpaceX as a company has basically given space exploration the kick in the ass it needed, because both the U.S. and the former Soviet Union, Russia, has mostly just been kind of sitting on their laurels since the 60s and 70s. They weren't really innovating all that much. The space shuttle was practically an antique before it ever even launched. There was so much wasted energy in just trying to get that big behemoth into space that when you look at what's going on with Richard Branson and Virgin Space, is that what they're calling it? Basically you've got a rocket ship that's strapped to an airplane. It goes up 50, 60,000 feet with 4 to 6 people and then shoots that up and it gets into low Earth orbit almost.
Right.
That's, what we should be using these big rockets for is to put stuff in space, not necessarily put people in space, and find more economic and environmentally friendly ways to put people into space. And I think that between Blue Origin, which just had its first manned mission to low Earth orbit?
That's a Virgin one.
No. That Blue Origin is the one with
Amazon.
Amazon, yeah.
I don't know if it's the first one. But what do you want them to put into space now?
I want them to use the big rockets to put big stuff up in space.
Like what?
Cargo parts and pieces of other spaceships that are going to go other places, and use smaller rockets. You don't need something the size of a space shuttle. You don't need something like the size of what is Musk's big rocket called? Whatever his super big heavy
Falcon
super
X.
heavy rocket. Yeah, Falcon X.
Yeah,
Everything
Falcon
is
Heavy.
X,
Falcon
since
Heavy.
It is SpaceX.
Yeah, Falcon Heavy.
Something
That's the
Falcon
name of it.
Heavy.
You don't need Falcon Heavy to put people into space.
Well, you
That
don't.
should be
You don't need
cargo.
to. I mean, you don't need to put stuff for people in space at all. I mean, so. I mean, that's what the backlash is obviously like. All these people spending all this money on, rockets into space when there's problems on Earth. And you know what I say to those
There's
people?
always going to be.
You know what I say to those people?
What do you say?
Woo-hoo. Really, I mean, I'm sorry these guys have a lot of money and want to, explore. That's that's not their problem.
That's why they got money. They can spend it.
Yeah,
Why not?
They could spend it on hookers and blow for all I care, or space. It doesn't really matter. It's their money. They could do what they want with it. So,
And blackjack. As a matter of fact, forget the blackjack. All right.
You guys suck. I'm gonna go play blackjack
Yeah.
And
some
hookers.
poker.
and hookers.
Yeah. All right. We're going to get off that because that's going in a really odd direction.
Very odd.
We're going on a bender.
Yeah. The July 31st marked the 50th anniversary of man driving a car on the moon. Some reports claim that part of the reason why we haven't gone back is that there was no CarPlay for maps and podcasts in 1971. There are, this is kind of a spacey show, I guess, this week.
Apparently.
Feels that way. Yeah.
The timetable that Musk in particular has given has been to put people back onto the moon by 2024, that's pretty ambitious considering that they don't even have Starship outside of, I don't think that they've gotten Starship up more than 15 kilometers, while they're testing all of these systems. So I don't know if 2024 is going to be doable for putting people back on the moon again.
3 short years.
And then you have the Chinese have a reasonably aggressive schedule for their space program, and who knows what Russia's doing these days. But the fact that we basically have, there are 3 companies in the United States or associated with, the Western powers that are vying to make space flight more affordable by a factor of almost 400. When you look at how much it costs to put, I think the space shuttle could hold about 60,000 pounds of cargo to go up. And it costs like $1.5 billion to put that into space. Whereas Falcon Heavy can do, no, it was 30,000 pounds. Falcon Heavy can put up 20,000 for about, I think it was 150 million, or like, it was like a factor of 10 to 20% or 10 to 20 down from what it costs for the space shuttle to do the same thing. And this is the benefits that you get with competition. So when you look at the plans of all three of these companies to put people into space, and they're all vying for the same contracts from NASA and the U.S. government and other, and other governments as well for satellites. It's basically the technology is almost leapfrogging each other with what they're doing.
Yeah.
And have you been following any of the SpaceX launches from Boca Chica, their facilities?
Nah.
They send up, it's like the shell of the of spaceship, which is what eventually I guess they're planning on sending to the moon and Mars. And they shoot it up like 15 kilometers, and then it basically comes down belly first, and then when it's down to practically just a couple of thousand feet, it does this maneuver where it pops up like this. All the Raptor engines fire to slow it down. Then it's supposed to just land on the pad. And the first couple of times they tried to do it, it was quite spectacular, the explosions, because either they weren't able to flip it and it would just like pancake right down onto the ground. And you can imagine, the guys that they have for astronauts watching this and going, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's something that I want to pursue for right now. Mm-hmm. Isn't there like a Soyuz capsule that's been around for 60, 70 years that we could take up into space instead? Skylab. Wow. Yeah. So, the future is very bright for space travel.
You got to figure out, you got to try to figure out what the goal is at this point. Cause in the 60s, it was, paranoia. We went to space because we thought Russia was going to kill us from space. So we had to get there first. In the 80s and 90s, it was more about exploration. You had the, normal
Space
scientists going to space looking for things. And I think now we're getting to a point where it's either it has to get to a utility where, right now they're doing entertainment flights, but eventually there's got to be reasons to get up there, as you said, to put maybe, better satellites up there or to actually, figure, my thought has always been, if you could go up into space, what is it, 10 minutes? How long does it take to get into lower space? What was it, like 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes? Something like that?
It's like 10-15 minutes.
Yeah. So my question is,
low Earth orbit.
So once you're in space, if I'm flying from Cape Canaveral, Florida to China or Japan in space, could I get there faster than I could on Earth?
Oh, what, through like a parabolic flight?
Well, you go up. No, the space shuttle goes up in space, and then it could, as thrusters, it could thrust, right?
Yeah, but it's going up. I mean, if you're talking about going from point A to point B on Earth, you wouldn't even have to go to what is considered the edge of space, which I think is 85 kilometers. You wouldn't even have to go that high, because it's the time that it takes to get that high plus the time that it takes for the Earth to because it's not like you're flying to that point. The Earth is basically rotating underneath you, which is where you get a lot of the speed.
Right.
And then when you get to a place where you can come back in, your trajectory will take you to whatever city it is that you're trying to get to. Yeah, there's like no place on Earth that's probably more than 2 to 3 hours away. That's
my point.
But the thing is, how do you do it economically?
Right. So if they could perfect that to a point where they could get some kind of craft high enough where you could fly anywhere in 2 to 3 hours, then you got some kind of mode of transport that that you can
sure, if you don't mind your ticket costing, practically $1 million.
Well, I mean, when airplanes first came out, people probably said the same thing about paying for those. So, it comes down. Hopefully, it comes down.
Well, I'm still waiting for transporters. That's what I'm hoping for.
No, me too. Me too.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Yep, and food replicators. Like every single meal, I want a sirloin steak that is made out of broccoli.
That shouldn't be a problem with the Beyond products that are out there.
You got to dehydrate a pizza like they did in Back to the Future.
Oh, well, it was like about that big. And it came out like huge.
Let me just dehydrate this.
I don't know. I don't know if is that going to be too much food?
Yeah.
Wow, this is a very odd episode tonight.
Yes, it is very odd.
Well, we're talking
we
about
have-
space, and
Yeah.
that's it's not our comfort zone, I would say. But
I
let's
love
go for it.
talking about space. I love
All right.
talking about all this stuff. So, but I guess we've kind of run out of topics. You guys have anything? See, here people who may or may not be watching and or listening. The problem is this is honestly the absolute worst time of the year to talk about technology because you know WWDC is gone, that's done. We're not up to the point where we can speculate really when the new iPhones are going to come out or when the new Macs are going to, because we have, and it's not just Apple, it's all of the big tech companies. Everything that they want to sell you was created 6 months ago for the back to school sale, and they're just now starting to ramp up for the Christmas sales, which is still 4 months away. So no one is really saying anything. There's like no big news.
I just checked the news. There's nothing going on. You could bid on Steve Jobs' bomber jacket. That's the big story. If you want to do that,
I'd rather have that jacket that Drake wore. Apple used to sell clothes.
Did they?
Yeah, and they had this. I actually have one that kind of looks like it, but it doesn't have the Apple logo on it. It was like this suede jacket that had like these light brown leather sleeves, and it had like a great big Apple logo on it.
Still sell clothes at Apple Park and at the spaceship.
Can you get one of those jackets?
They had
or is it just like t-shirts and polo shirts and hats?
When I was there, it was t-shirts, polo shirts, and hats, but you never know. They might get something else.
See, I never had a chance to get out there.
I always thought it would be a great idea if every Apple store had their own like shirt you could buy with the name of the store or something like that. Or
well, they do. They used to. Back when Apple Store openings was like news, and now it's just like, oh, Apple opened up 16,000 more stores today.
I have one like when the local store opened up, they were giving out the free shirts. But I'm saying, go to keep those shirts and be able to go there at any time and buy it, because I've been to so many Apple stores around the country, around the world actually, because I lived overseas, and I would love to remember the ones I've been to and have something from it. Like the Starbucks, you could buy a cup, a mug.
Yeah, every location.
Yeah, of every location if you really want. But
well, it was the same thing with like Planet Hollywood and Hard Rock cafes. I've got a leather, got a leather Hard Rock cafe jacket that back in the mid '80s cost me $300 from the Tokyo Hard Rock Cafe.
Well, I have a whole collection of Hard Rock t-shirts.
Yep. Because let's see. Well, have you been to any Hard Rock cafes, Dave?
A couple. Obviously one here in Vegas.
Right.
Yep.
Well, see, I went to the one here in DC. I don't even know if it's still there. DC, London.
Did you go to the original in London? Because there's 3 of them. You have to.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's the smallest one, and I forgot what street it's on, but yeah. So that was the first one that came up.
I went to the one in Tokyo. I went to a fake one in South Africa, and I got T-shirts from like all of them. They're almost all gone now, because
that's what they need to do with Apple.
Cheap ass T-shirts.
They need to do that with Apple stuff, because I've been to so many like beautiful, gorgeous Apple stores. I've been to the Louvre, the Apple store in the Louvre. I've been to the Apple store in like in Barcelona, which is incredible. The one in Australia, just amazing. Even Chicago,
even New York City,
I've never got the chance to go to Australia. I would have loved to have gone to the South Pacific. Never got a chance to go.
Yeah, it was. I mean, but just
I guess I'll have to wait until Spaceship One.
I actually tried to go onto Facebook. I actually tried to, because I want to remember. I tried to go to on Facebook and try to search for a way of all the places you checked in, and filter by Apple, and there's no way to do it. So anyhow,
that's a shame.
That's a shame.
Yeah, we're stretching here. All right, I think we're gonna end the show. Dave, if people wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do it?
They go to In Touch with iOS at intouchwithios.com. You can also go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/DaveG65. You can also find me on Twitter at DaveG65. Mac Voices Live tomorrow night, Tuesday nights, with Chuck and sometimes you guys. We always have fun talking on there. And I'm on the Mac Show on Fridays, usually on the British Tech Network. So you can find me lots of places.
Cool. All right. What about you, Warren? We ask you this all the time.
And I still don't know where you could get me. I'm not sure about Thursday. I'm pretty sure I should be there. I'll let you know. We're going down to the beach again. As long as I don't have another root canal that gets in the way. Otherwise, Mac to the Future Facebook group, come join. It's fun.
And if you would like to help contribute to the madness of all the things that I do, you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/MacParrot. You can go to coffee, ko-fi.com/MacParrot. Or you can pay a pal at paypal.me/MacParrot. I have not one, but two Twitter accounts. VertShark and MacParrot. You can find all of the videos over there on the tubes of you. Just look up VertShark. It's going to be right over there.
YouTube.
And VertShark.com is the website that you can find all of it. VertShark.com.
We gotta go.
All righty. I'm kind of feeling like this was a good show tonight.
Yeah,
Me too.
Very odd.
Why not?
So odd. All right. Well, as long as everyone is happy, that's all that matters. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks everyone for watching. We will see you hopefully next week, unless something even weirder happens, right here on the Mac to the Future livecast. Go. Just so weird. He's rocking out. He's got it. He's got it going on.
I'll see you guys. I gotta go.
All right, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah.
See you later.
I'll catch you guys.
All right. Bye. Oh, it's just us chickens. Real quick, for anyone who may still be watching, I'm going to switch over to a different camera and I'm going to show you the setup here. All right. So, going to back up. Too much light. These lights are like killing the view. So here's the desk. There's monitor one over there. There's the second audio monitor, two screens. This is the web or the camera that I use to live cast with. Here's my microphone, but I've got like all this counter space. There's the two Mac Minis that I've got, along with a Thunderbolt hub and a hub underneath there that also houses a drive. Here's all the audio gear. There's the DBX 286s and some of the Behringer gear, audio interface, all kinds of good stuff. Whoa. So see if I can do this without actually blocking the camera. So that is going to do it. That is going to do it for tonight, everybody. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you all next time here on the show, Mac the Future Livecast Go.